Britain's farming sector is sounding the alarm as early evidence suggests Labour's planned inheritance tax overhaul is already having a damaging effect, despite the changes not being scheduled to take effect until April 2026. In her first budget last year, Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced that family farms worth more than £1 million would lose their inheritance tax exemptions. The announcement triggered outrage across rural communities, with farmers warning the move would threaten family-run agriculture, undermine long-term investment, and place UK food security at risk. 1 year later, the consequences appear to be unfolding even before the new rules are introduced. According to the Office for National Statistics, 7,470 agriculture, forestry, and fishing businesses have shut down since Labour took office. Only 3,985 new businesses have opened during the same period, a net loss of 3,485. With the budget approaching, farming leaders are demanding the government reconsider what they describe as a tax raid on the countryside. Tom Bradshaw, president of the National Farmers Union, said Labour MPs representing rural constituencies were struggling to even secure meetings with the Treasury. He described a worrying level of intransigence from the government, despite what he called overwhelming evidence of the policy's harmful impact. He stressed that farmers were already facing mounting pressures on investment and growth, and warned the tax could accelerate the decline of family farming. Industry groups, including the NFU and the Country Land and Business Association, previously warned the policy risked forcing small farms to sell land and assets simply to pay the tax bill. Many now say those warnings are beginning to materialize. The challenges come after an exceptionally difficult year for British agriculture, with a second consecutive poor harvest caused by extreme dry weather. Farmers are also grappling with the long-term fallout from Brexit, the loss of billions in EU subsidies, and the government's controversial replacement schemes. Subsidies not linked to production have fallen from £3.2 billion in 2020 to £2.9 billion in 2024, according to DEFRA figures. The government's post-Brexit environmental land management schemes, intended to replace the EU's direct payments, have been widely criticised for offering less financial stability. Labour has begun phasing out many countryside stewardship grants, while its new Sustainable Farming Incentive Scheme has been closed to new applicants since March, leaving thousands unsure whether they will regain support for environmental work such as hedgerow management and wildflower planting. DEFRA Secretary Emma Reynolds admitted to mistakes earlier this year, promising to improve communication and prioritise reform of the SFI. But uncertainty remains widespread. Farm closures reflect a worrying trend. A survey by NFU Mutual found farm holdings fell by 4% in 2025, from 217,000 to 209,000, with many farmers opting to sell land and exit the industry altogether. At the same time, investment across the sector has collapsed. Registrations of new tractors have fallen almost every month since Reeves first announced the inheritance tax changes. When Labour took office, 10,772 tractors were registered in the UK. That figure has since dropped by 15% to just 9,100, the lowest number recorded since the 1960s. Emily Hall, a 28-year-old farmer from Dorset, said her family had cancelled plans to purchase a new tractor in order to cut costs. She explained that the lack of equipment investment was hindering their ability to expand cattle production and support younger family members entering the business. The decline in machinery registrations is stark, numbers have not dipped below 10,000 since 1998, even during the devastating BSE crisis. Stephen Howarth of the Agricultural Engineers Association said 2025 is likely to register the lowest tractor sales since the Second World War. There are also signs of rising financial anxiety. NFU Mutual reported a 313% surge in farmers seeking professional advice about inheritance planning in the year following the Chancellor's budget. Financial experts warn that more families may feel pressured to pass ownership to the next generation early to avoid future tax liabilities, potentially reshaping farm ownership structures for decades to come. As the autumn budget draws nearer, farming leaders are urging the government to rethink the policy. Tom Bradshaw warned that without a major shift, the sector faces a collapse in investment, reduced productivity, and long-term instability that could threaten Britain's food security. Their message to the Chancellor is clear: rethink the inheritance tax reforms and adopt policies that strengthen, rather than weaken, the resilience of British agriculture. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Your support means a lot.